The same week that we returned from camp, Bank Holiday Week, we took the club for a mystery outing, which the club paid for. Well, here we are at Clifton by the river. We spent the afternoon paddling in a stream which runs by the river. Here we were busy sucking ice suckers and ice creams and sunning ourselves. Yes, it really was a lovely summer's day, and we had a jolly good time, but it's not like the club to keep dry, so we just had to have a good old storm to finish us off. We sheltered for some time, but you should have seen us walking through town with towels round our heads, but our spirits were not dampened. At the end of August, Janet left the club. I thought I would like a little more help with the club, so I asked Anne to be vice captain, which she did very willingly. The club made Joy their leader and Gillian their second. The club again made a smashing guy for the bonfire, and helped a lot by carting stuff across to the stack on the Lammas. We bought 5 shillings worth of fireworks, including some sparklers for the younger ones, which we older ones enjoyed just as much. We had a good fire, although it teemed down with rain all the evening, and we went home wet through. I'm pleased to say we were none the worse for our wetting, as a club it seems are used to getting wet. I had a lot of old cards and pictures, so we decided to make some scrapbooks for the children's hospital, which we did, and at Christmas we sent off about 8 lovely books. This is the letter we received from the hospital. And this is the letter they received from the hospital. Dear Miss Stacy, Sheredean Club, will you please convey to the members of your club the sincere thanks of all our children for the attractive scrapbooks which they have so kindly sent to the hospital. These books will be greatly appreciated by the patients here this Christmas, and I am very grateful for your kind thought for us at this season. Another silver paper collection was sent up to Tinker Bell, with a normal thanks from the post. As usual, we made Xmas stockings for Dr. Bernardo's, collected 1 and 6pence worth of farthings, plus 10 and 6 on my Xmas tree collection. Again, thanks from Dr. Bernardo's Homes. The Tuesday before Christmas was our Ranger Company's concert at the Scout Hall in Nottingham. We decided if we wanted to have club together, we would have to take the club to the concert, as both Vice Captain and I were in it. This we did, instead of giving a small present each for Xmas. We paid for the outing, which I think we all enjoyed. The following Thursday was the Christmas party, and Betty is going to write a little about it. The Christmas party. First of all, we played a few games, and we had tea. We had jellies, cakes and sandwiches. After tea, we played a black magic and white magic. Rosemary Neal stood on Mr. Stacy's poor little toe. Then we had a game of balloons. I won a prize, so did Rosemary. We gave Captain's mother and father a present for letting us have club in the front room. We gave Captain a present as well in the evening. We had the prize giving, and Captain will put down who won. Betty Shaw. Attendance: Rosemary Lockley 44 out of 45, Wendy Stacy 44 out of 45. Points: Wendy Stacy with 247. Cup winner Wendy Stacy 15 times. Squares: Janet Morris 24 made during the year. A big thank you went to Rosemary Lockley for putting in 10 shillings and 10 pence during the year, over half as much as anyone else in the club. On the following Saturday we went carol singing, and again did very well, as you will see from the receipt over leaf. One house we went in and sang inside. They had a party on, and they were very pleased to see us, especially when we sang We Three Kings, with Vice Captain Wendy and Little Betty singing solos, which sounded very nice. We went into several houses and were offered mince pies, tarts and drinks, which were very welcome. But the most exciting part was when we got home and counted the money. We were pleased with our night's work and felt we really had done some good work for Dr. Bernardo's. Here are some pictures of Dr. Bernardo's children whom we try and help. A receipt from Dr. Bernardo's for £2 6 That was a picture sent to them by Dr. Bernardo's. More pictures from Dr. Bernardo's homes. 1952. The committee for 1952, Rosemary Lockley elected leader and secretary and Gillian as second. The first thing to remember this year is how two children, namely Wendy and Gillian, kept the second club rule by helping to save a dog. Here is a newspaper cutting about it. The newspaper cutting described the event, and the reference to the children was, "Two children came to tell me that the dog was in the water, and I went to the pond with ladders," P.C. Douglas told a Post. In March, Gillian brought a new girl named Delia, but she only came for a few weeks. An Easter photo of Gillian. The next happy event was our usual outing on Good Friday. On Good Friday, April 11th, the club went on a hike to Lamley Dumbles. The weather looked very promising, and we set off at 10:15. We were Betty, Rosemary 2, Delia, Julie, Val, Wendy, Jill, Captain, and myself. We arrived at Lamley at 11:05. After refreshment, we went to look at the Dumbles, and Val started off by sliding down a bank. We had our dinner at 12 to 1 o'clock, and afterwards some of us went to Lamley village. When we were all together again, we had a game of cricket, and 3 small boys came to watch us, and as they did not know our names, they gave some of us nicknames: Wendy, Cinderella, Val, Curly, and Captain, Stainless. We then had some tea and returned home. Anne Parkinson. Some photographs of the girls. After this, we knuckled down to some concert work, which we did willingly, thinking ahead of the club camp and outing which was to follow. Club Concert 1952. On Tuesday, 8th of July, the club held their annual concert and sale of work. It was a warm, dry night, and we had a large audience. A copy of the programme is on the next page. During the interval, we had the draw for a raffle we had arranged. The prizes were a large basket of fruit, which Mrs. Packwood won, a box of chocolates, a propelling pencil, and a basket of raspberries. During the sale, competitions were held outside for the children. There was a throwing the hoop on the board, pending the bucket, and a brand tub. The whole evening was a great success, and the total amount made from the concert, sale and raffle was over £6. Rosemary Lockley. This was their printed programme for their concert 1952. Down to the second interval. From the second interval to the ending chorus. Outing to Mablethorpe. On Sunday 27th of July 1952, the club went on an outing to Mablethorpe. We left Victoria Station at 10:20 a.m. and arrived at our destination about 1 p.m. We ate our lunch on the sandhills, and afterwards some of the club went into the sea. As it was rather showery and there was a cold wind, We spent the rest of the afternoon at the fun fair. We went on the wheel, the Noah's Ark, and the horses, and some of us went on the big wheel. We had tea at a fish and chip shop, and then some of the club decided they would like to bathe again. By the time they were dressed again, it was time to return to the station. We caught the train all right and had a very pleasant journey back to Nottingham, as a party of boys from further down the train came and joined us. We arrived at Victoria at 10:50 p.m., 25 minutes late, and we were met by Mr. Stacey and Mrs. Morris, who very kindly took us home by car. We had all had a very enjoyable time and are looking forward to next year's outing. Rosemary Lockley. P.S. In January 1953, Mablethorpe suffered great damage from flooding by the sea, so we shall never again see it as it was then, and can only rely on happy memories. A few pictures taken at Mablethorpe. October. Silver paper competition won by Rosemary Lockley. We have now started collecting silver milk tops, and Wendy has collected the most so far. Just before Christmas, we made a children's Xmas stocking and sent this, together with some farthings, books, and other articles, to Dr. Bernardo's homes. To end the year, we had our usual Christmas party, to which we invited Mr. and Mrs. Stacey and presented them with a table runner. During the year, Rosemary Lockley, one of our oldest members, Gillian Morris, Val Thompson, Julie Palmer, and Delia Beardsley all left the club, but of course they were invited back for the party, and most of them came and enjoyed themselves. The results were as follows: attendance, Wendy 41 out of 42, points, Wendy 227, cup winner, Betty 9 times, squares, Rosemary Lockley 6 squares. Again, we say thank you to Rosemary for the money she put into the club box. The total for the club was £2 4 shillings and 10 halfpenny. I was also given a present by the club, I being Pat Stacey. Our last good turn of the year was our carol singing effort, which we enjoyed very much, especially when we went to the Conservative Hall and sang our carols at the children's party which the Forest Supporters Club were having. We all had what we wanted to eat and drink, and took our tin round and came away very happy with an orange each and our tin quite heavy. The receipt from Dr. Bernardo's homes for £3. The 1953 committee were Captain, Vice-Captain as a Secretary, and Wendy as a leader. At this time there were only 6 of us in the club. No Easter outings were arranged, but that was made up for by all the club going to camp at Whitsuntide. We found a lovely site at Oxton after hunting all over Houghton near Southwell, where it seemed nobody had a suitable camping site. We had wonderful weather and all enjoyed ourselves except Wendy, who had a bad cold.